A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. One of the scribes came to Jesus and asked him, "Which is the first of all the commandments?" Jesus replied, "The first is this: Listen, O Israel. The Lord our God is Lord alone. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." The scribe said to him, "Well said, teacher. You are right in saying he is one, and there is no other than he, and to love him with all your heart, with all your understanding, and with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself is worth more than all burnt offerings and sacrifices." And when Jesus saw that he answered with understanding, he said to him, "You are not far from the kingdom of God." And no one dared to ask him any more questions. The Gospel of the Lord. Good morning, brothers and sisters. We start this Gospel that comes to help us, especially during these difficult moments, in what we're looking at our society, the injustices, the violence, but also the pain, the pain of feeling that we're not heard, the pain that we feel that the injustice will continue, and we don't understand the suffering of the others. This gospel comes with a question: what is the most important commandment? And the first thing that Jesus answers is listen. Listen. Faith enters through listening the preaching, listening the kerygma. It's very hard though to listen, because it requires humility. It requires that you recognize that somebody else can give you something. How many wives maybe are complaining that their husbands never listen to them, but for the people of Israel, this was fundamental, to listen, to pay attention to God, to pay attention to what God is speaking, is talking. And he says, and then he goes on and says, "Listen, Israel, love your God. Love God with all the heart, with all the mind, with all the soul, with all the strength. Not 80% and 20% is for me. No, with 100%. To love God." And it's interesting that then the scribe says to Jesus, "Yeah, it's true." And Jesus says, "You're not far from the kingdom of heaven." Jesus does not say, "Oh, you have arrived to the kingdom of heaven." He says, "You're not far. You still have something else." Because Christ brings the novelty of loving the enemy. Because Christ is the one who has fulfilled the Shema in its entirety. He has loved God with all his strength, with all his mind, with all his heart, and with all his soul. And Christ, who is risen from the dead, can give that spirit to you and to me, to be able to love in this dimension, to be able to love in a new way. The world is waiting for this love. Let us ask the Lord that we can show it, but let us ask the Lord to love him. St. Thomas of Aquin says that men usually put wealth, pleasure, power, and honor before God. Let's ask the Lord to give us the grace to put him first in our lives. Have a nice day.